welcome to my YouTube channel. Drum rolls. I know I skipped last week's video, so I don't know I'm gonna compensate for it, but now I'm gonna bring you a good conversation that is going to enrich you and help you with your journey to get into remote work. So first, house rules first. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please just go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, you can like and comment and engage with me as we go through the video. You can actually engage with me and tell me what is it that you think about what I'm saying. So welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joanne Batila. If this is your first time to be here, hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Drum rolls. I know I skipped last week's video, so I don't know I'm gonna compensate for it, but now I'm gonna bring you a good conversation that is going to enrich you and help you with your journey to get into remote work. So first, house rules first. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please just go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, you can like and comment and engage with me as we go through the video. You can actually engage with me and tell me what is it that you think about what I'm saying. So welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joanne Batila. If this is your first time to be here, meet me. My name is Joanne Batila. I'm the owner of this YouTube channel, and I'm a project manager who works remotely, basically with remote healthcare startups. That is what I do. This is my YouTube channel, and we talk more about remote work. And so today's topic, you all know, I think you've already seen it from the thumbnail. I just want to pull up my notes so that I make sure that I'm not actually I'm not actually just saying my own things. I wanted to have my notes so that I can be able just to bring out the topic well and be able to educate as many of you. So you're here and you've applied for remote jobs, maybe even dozens of them, but you're not getting responses. Let me tell you the truth. Sometimes it's not always about your CV. It is actually how you're showcasing your skills. And so today's video, we are going to break down the 6 remote skills hiring managers are looking for right now, and how you can start building those skills immediately. And no, you don't need to be in tech for you to qualify. And I told you, remote work is not about tech. It is both for tech and non-tech. For me, I work in the non-tech space of remote work. And so remote work is no longer about just doing the job. It is about how you work without supervision across the different time zones that you're going to work, and through the digital platforms and tools that you're going to use as you're going to work. Companies do not just hire experience, and they hire if you are ready for remote work. As someone who works as a project manager, one of the things that I normally do for companies is to hire the right talent for them. I try and connect companies with the right talent, and I think that is also the basic of Fortune Academy. And that means that I can attest and I can tell you that most of the times when we hire these things, we don't look for experience. Rarely do we look for experience. We look if this person is ready to work remotely. And most people are looking for remote jobs, but they're not ready to work remotely. So what is the first skill that you need to learn for you to get into remote work? Is communication skills. This is the number 1 skill. If you can't communicate clearly, you can't work remotely. So let me break it down for you. The communication is required if you need to write clear emails and messages, if you need to give updates about whatever you're being told to give updates about, and sometimes you're not even being asked and you're supposed to give updates on whatever you need to give updates about. And then the other thing is that you need to know how to communicate so that you can ask the right questions. So instead of saying I'm working on it, when you're working remotely, you're not supposed to say I'm working on it. You're supposed to say I've completed 60%, and by tomorrow I'll be able to have finished the rest. You can say actually by tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I'm going to update you if anything changes. That is how best you can communicate. You don't just say, if a boss reaches out to you and they say, could you give us an update on this? Where have you gotten? And you say, I'm working on it. Please just say I've completed 60% and then I'll finish by tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I'll update you if anything changes. All right? Remote is equal to written communication more than the verbal communication. And so you really need to ask yourself, can someone understand your work without calling you? Can someone understand your work without calling you? You who wants to get into remote work, can someone understand your work without calling you? The second part is the time management and self-discipline. No one is watching you when it comes to remote work, and that is freedom. I think that is the freedom that all of you want when you want to get into remote work. You normally say, I want to get into remote work because I want to get that freedom. But it is also a responsibility. You really need to explain the meeting deadlines. You really need to explain, the deliverable deadlines. You really need to meet the deadlines that are supposed to be given, the deadlines that you've been given for you to complete a task. So you've been given a project and the deadline is on Friday, so make sure that you have to meet that deadline. You have to manage distractions. You're staying in your home, you have your family around that need your attention. You have your kitchen around. Sometimes you would want to cook something nice, or your fridge, it has something nice that you would want to eat. And sometimes you can actually step out. It's your home, like you are very familiar with that home. So please manage distractions. And one of the biggest distractions, I think, is actually phone and social media. So you have to manage distractions. And then the other thing is that you really need to plan your day so that you know when you wake up, there are things that you are required to do, and prioritize your work through that. So use simple system. Have a to-do list, have a Google Calendar, and you can also learn how to use Notion. Notion is one of the best tools that we normally use, even our company as Fortune Academy. That is the thing that we normally use. Sorry about that. That is the thing that we normally use. So hiring managers are afraid of one thing: hiring someone who disappears. And this happens mostly with people who are into remote work. And the marker of this is normally when you get an interview invite and you're told to send a 1-minute introductory video, or you're told to send an AI interview, most people disappear. And that actually just shows that this is someone who is going to disappear when they're given a role to do. So please show that you can show up consistently and you can manage your time and you're able to meet the deadlines that you've been called to meet. On the third skill that you need to learn is that you have to learn the digital and tech tools confidence. You don't need to be a tech expert, but you must be comfortable with some tools that are going to help you and guide you to get into remote work. An example of a communication tool like Slack and Zoom. If you don't know how to use Slack and Zoom, go and learn how to use Slack and Zoom. Another one is task management. As a project manager, in as much as I'm working with people from different facets, like I can work with a social media manager, I can work with a HR, I can work with a graphic designer, web designer. All these things, all these projects are managed on one tool. Mostly I use Notion, or you can use Trello, or you can use Asana. And then you can also know how to document. Do you know how to use the Google Documents and Google Sheets for you to be able to document whatever it is that you need to document? So change your mindset. Don't say that I don't know how to use this tool. Just say that I'm going to learn, and in truth to that, please go and learn that tool. Most tools are similar. Learning one makes the others easier. Once you learn one, you're gonna make the others easier. So you've gotten to number 3. Before we go to number 4 of this conversation, I would love to encourage those who have not subscribed. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We've gotten here. Please also, you can share the link to other people that would want to actually join the battalion of remote work. So that they can be able to learn a thing or two through this YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, I'm actually making this break so that you can be able to subscribe and share and engage with me in the comment section. Your comments, your things that you share with me are very valuable, the feedback, so that I can be able also to improve on how to do this. Number 4 is problem solving. Remote workers are hired to solve problems, not to wait for instructions. So you have to think before you ask whatever you are asking for, and then you have to also suggest solutions, not just raising issues. Have you been in a company? I know for you, those of you who are watching this and are working in a physical company, I know you have that one colleague of yours who is always raising issues, and I know it's something that you feel it's so bad. When you're coming into remote work, I need you to change your mindset and how you view things. Instead of just raising issues, please suggest the solutions that you can make in those issues. Instead of saying this is not working, say this is not working, but there are 2 possible solutions that you can be able to give to this problem so that you can be able to solve it. This is what separates beginners from professionals. This is what separates those who are taken into remote work and those who are not taken into remote work. And then the 5th a skill that you need to have is that you have to be adaptable and have a learning mindset. Remote work world changes so fast. Tools, processes, expectations, they change so fast. And so you really need to be very open to change. Right now, as you can see, there are many new AI tools that are being brought up. I have helped quite a lot of people to get into remote work, and their basic thing that they are going to do is just to train an AI model according to their career. So you can get like a HR who has been hired to go and train an AI model on how to do a particular task for HRs. You can get a project manager has just been hired to go and train an AI model for a particular task in project management. So these AI models are going to be used in your field, and so you really need to be very open to change, be open to learn new systems quickly. There are new systems that are coming up, or even the systems that you already used to, they are being tweaked and changed into something else that you have never maybe experienced. And then the last thing is that you really need to take feedback well. The people who succeed in remote work are not the smartest. They are the ones who are adaptable. Be adaptable to change. You're going to work in a new culture, and so you really need to be adaptable to change and have a mindset that is willing to learn and willing to take in the feedback. So now, on to the last skill that you need to learn. This is the skill that no one talks about. That is being reliable and accountability. And being accountable. Most hiring managers are looking for this skill. It's something that people don't talk about because some people just assume they're going to be reliable. You've been working in a physical job, so you feel that you're going to be reliable. And most of the times when you are required to be reliable, you don't do it. Instead, what do? You disappear. You say you have an emergency. So what does being reliable means? It means that you need to show up consistently. And then you need to do what you say that you will do. Please, you need to do what you say that you will do. And the other thing is that you need to own mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect. And so these shoddy behaviors of skipping mistakes, you make a mistake and then you are like, you please leave it in the physical jobs that you are working in. When you're working remotely, you're going to own your mistakes and you're going to do what you said you will do. In remote work, trust is your currency. You want to climb the ladder, you want to climb up the career ladder, you need to be reliable, you need to take up feedback, and you really need to take accountability of your mistakes. So let me just tie all this together. You don't need to have 10 certifications to start remote work. I have met quite a lot of people that have certificates. Yani, someone mentions to you the certificates and you're just wondering, why all these certifications? Guys, you don't have to have all the 10 certifications for you to start working remotely. You need to show that you can communicate, manage yourself, and deliver the results that you've been given consistently. All right, consistently. So those of you who have certificates in AI, certificates in virtual assistant, project management, web design, and everything around that, please, it's time now you start monetizing them, and you have to learn these skills so that you can be able to monetize them. And so as I leave this video, because now we are done, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would want to leave with some questions for you. Which of these skills do you already have? Mention the skills that I've just mentioned and evaluate which ones do you have. And then, which one are you working on right now? And what are you doing to work on them? Please also be intentional so that you can be able to know that you are working on them and how is the progress with that, so that you can be able to get into remote work. If you need help to get into remote work, I offer one-on-one coaching sessions. I offer monthly masterclasses. Whatever it is that you would want to do. The masterclass are group coaching sessions. So I offer both of those. If you would want to reach out, I also offer for CV writing. I also offer LinkedIn optimization and interview preparation and everything that you would want to learn about remote work. And also we are launching new courses and trainings as Fortune Academy to help people who would want to get into remote work to get started. And so if you need any of those services, just feel free to WhatsApp my number. It's +254 758 869067. Once you are able just to send any message to that WhatsApp, you'll be able to pick it up and be able to tailor your experience to whatever place or situation that you are in. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and as always say, see you at the top. Bye.